Hello and welcome, my ibby shibbies. I'm Brad, aka your Android Queen, 1014, and here we are reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars Season 4, Episode 5. Now, I have been dealing with healing and recuperating from some tooth extractions from last week. So if I talk funny, or if I look like I'm talking funny, that's why. And also, that is why I didn't do last week's episode review. Once I recuperate fully, I will be doing the review for that and posting it up, as well as the Goob and Noob for the runway for that episode as well. And another reason why I had to skip a week, unfortunately, is because me and my partner became dog dads and we adopted our cute little Rocco. He's over here chilling. Boston Terrier. We think he's mixed with a Frenchie, but we don't know because we rescued him from a shelter. But he's definitely Boston. On to the review of episode 5. So everybody comes in after Latrice's elimination. Poor Latrice. Everybody's sad that she went home. And everybody asked Monique if it was a hard decision. And she said, I based this off of report cards. And Manila had revealed that she was going to send Monet home had she won the lip sync. And they kind of got a little upset because Monet had done better than Latrice. So they got a little upset and they didn't know exactly where they stood with Manila. So then Ru walks into the runway in this fabulous butterfly suit, yes, and introduces the Maxi Challenge as the Roast Challenge. And they're gonna be roasting Lady Bunny at her funeral. Now, I thought this was really funny because Lady Bunny is super funny, and I thought this was a good challenge. And can we have Lady Bunny as a judge, please? Because she needs to be a judge. Even if it's for All Stars, she needs to be a judge on the show. So Lady Bunny, the creator of Wigstock, they are going to be roasting. So Ru says, hey, Monique, since you won the lip sync last week, you're gonna pick the lineup. And she's a little gagged over that. So then it goes back to the workroom and Monique chooses the lineup. And then we get to the workshop with Cicely Strong. Hello, funny as hell. And Monet was up first. I felt like she listened and absorbed all the information that Cicely gave her. Valentina, she said, wasn't too prepared and needed to not take her advice so literal and edit pretty much. Monique, she did like the what Monique was delivering, but when Cicely was trying to give her feedback on how to deliver that, Monique wasn't really listening and she was kind of a little worried that her performance might suck because she wasn't absorbing in that information on how to deliver the jokes. And then Trinity came up and her jokes weren't landing at all. Cicely was a little confused by them, as would have I. And that was pretty much Trinity. And Naomi was up next and she kind of did well in the practice. That's how they showed it in the edit, that she kind of did well and Cicely was kind of like laughing at her joke. So then we cut to Manila with Cicely. And the edit is showing that she's not really doing very well and her jokes aren't landing very well. So again, editing. Again, spoiler alert. Actually, if you haven't watched the episode, you should totally go watch it and not be watching me because I might spoil some stuff. Just spoiler alert. And then they're getting ready for the roast in the makeup mirror. And there's some shade here and there being thrown around about how everybody's kind of confused on where Manila stands in the competition, because Manila is pretty much saying she's gonna play the game how she wants to play the game and that she's not here pretty much relying on another person to help her get to the top, which is Latrice. So she's pretty much here to play her own game, and the girls were like, oh crap, well, we don't know where we stand with you then. So there was that whole conversation with that. And then Rupaul comes walking down the runway, and I kind of like the dress. I was on the fence with it. I didn't care for maybe the material. I don't know, it seemed a little bit too heavy. And the color scheme, I like those colors, but I did not like them together. It was a cute silhouette, and she looked really nice. It just was a little heavy, and those colors are good, but not on each other. And then she introduces the judges, Miss Michelle Visage, Mr. Ross Matthews, Cicely Strong, and Yvette Nicole Brown. So now we get to the roast of the late Miss Lady Bunny. And the runway's set up like a funeral. Miss Lady Bunny is in an open casket, and there is a podium, and first up is Moulin Archange. And I thought she looked great for the whole funeral aspect of the fashion. Performance-wise, I feel like she set the tone for the whole roast very well. She delivered some very strong jokes. I really happen to love the joke where she said, down at the clinic, she's known as patient zero. And she was like kind of throwing some shade in between Rue and hers relationship. Funny. Monet is a funny girl. And then they cut to Stacey Lane Matthews in the crowd going, is this foreshadowing perhaps? Maybe she's going to be competing in All Stars 5? Maybe she's going to be a judge on All Stars 5? Who knows? Maybe she's going to be a coach again? Who knows? So next up was Trinity the Tuck. And I liked her look. I thought it was funny and comedic, but her roast was not funny. She did not deliver her jokes very well at all. She delivered them more in a mean tone than a roast tone, if that makes sense. I guess you would have to be familiar with roast to understand the difference between being vindictively mean and throwing shade funny, like a reading challenge shade. So her jokes were very low, in my opinion. Next up was Monique Hart, and I thought her character was fucking hilarious. I mean, I do agree with Michelle a little bit that some of her jokes stood it. I got it. I no longer go to church or like organized religion. That's just my opinion. I do respect other people wanting to go to church and celebrating the Lord, and they are more than welcome to. But in the past, I have been a churchgoer, and I have been to a lot of gospel churches, so I followed along. I understood it. I got the character. I laughed. I thought it was funny. I kept up personally. Anyways, I liked it. Next up was Naomi Smalls, and I didn't like her look. I liked her look maybe for another challenge, not for a funeral, but it was a cute outfit. And poor thing bombed. I was so sad because I love Naomi. Anyway, so she didn't do very well. Her jokes weren't connecting, and the way that she was delivering the jokes. Had she taken a little bit of advice and gone with more the delivery of the punchlines, I think she would have done well. But I think she was nervous because you can kind of tell she was a little nervous. All right, next up was Miss Valentina. And she looked great until she took those sunglasses off. But I felt like that was a really good funeral look. Her performance was eh. I think she took Cicely's advice too hard and applied it too much and overused the charade movements, which did not help her delivery. It slowed down her delivery in the joke because she was utilizing more of the stage rather than staying in one spot or making it look like she's doing bigger movements. It just didn't deliver well. And now last but not least was Miss Manila Luzon coming out looking fucking fierce with that parcel. Ugh. Oh my god, I want one. And she fucking closed that show so well. She set her setup very well and very strong. I mean, she come out with the umbrella looking right at Lady Bunny. Oh, that was fucking funny. And how she goes, dearly beloved, and Michelle Visage. That was, she set her tone for the rest of her set very strongly. And she did a very good job. Now, me personally, if I was a part of the roast in Drag Race, I would have gone outside of the box and I would have delivered a roast, one joke, each to the judges, RuPaul, Michelle Visage, and Ross Matthews, or Carson Kressley, whoever is a resident judge. That's what I would have done before leading into roasting Lady Bunny, because usually the roast is set up, they roast the other roasters. Now I know the judges aren't roasting Lady Bunny, but I would have thought outside the box and been like, I'm not gonna roast my fellow contestants. I have a chance to prove that I'm funny to the judges by roasting them, by taking a chance and going in on them. Anyways, moving along. And then Lady Bunny resurrects from the dead to deliver her roasts of her own, and I thought they were really cute and funny, and her little Miss Bunny, that was funny too. I thought it was a really cute little ending of the roast. And then the runway, which I will be getting to in another Goob and Noob video shortly following. Now we're on the runway, and then there's the critiques. Now, I didn't necessarily disagree with the judges and how their critiques were individually with each girl in the maxi challenge of the roast. I feel like it was a very fair assessment from the judges. However, I was a little concerned with their critiques about some of the fashion. Now we get the top two, which are Manila Luzon and Mona Exchange. So then Rue announces that if you're not in the top two, you are in the bottom. Everybody else is in the bottom. So they cut. Everybody's back in the workroom discussing how and what they're gonna do. So Monet and Manila take all the girls aside, start talking. We don't really need to discuss any of that because it doesn't really matter. The only thing that I will point out is that they were trying to compare report cards, and everybody was pretty much saying everybody's on a fair square right now, and Naomi saying that she hasn't been in the bottom, which is true, either been safe or more so in the top three. So I felt like if there was an elimination, so we get to the runway and they're lip syncing to an Aretha song, which is amazing song, by the way, but not a Drag Race lip sync song. That's just my opinion. Really love Monet's glittery black jumpsuit with the pussycat wig. She looked amazing. Now, we get to the actual lip sync. Sorry, sidetrack. And I think they both did a great job. But when the lip sync ended and she said, Manila, congratulations, you're a winner, first, I was a little confused because before she said Monet was also a winner, I was like, I thought Monet did a little bit better job than Manila did on the runway. She brought more personality. She brought more character into her performance. She got up in there and she had fun, and I felt like her vibe was just on point with the song. She had some facial gags. Then we find out that Monet is also safe. So everybody's like, oh, is two people going home? Are two of us going home? Did we pick the same lipstick? What's gonna happen? And then Rue announces that All Stars rules are suspended until further notice. What's gonna happen, y'all? I don't know. Then we get back in the workroom and Rue has a lipstick on the makeup mirror for them. Get ready to lip sync for your life. 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 And they're gagging. And like, oh my God, what the hell? And Manila, RuPaul's tired of handing out those tips, girl. Then bam! Behind the mirror is Lady Bunny saying, ah, we thought you were dead. I'm not coming back. Look behind you. And it's the eliminated queens behind them, and Miss Jasmine Masters looked fierce as fuck, holding a book or papers or whatever it was. Yes, Miss Jasmine, I loved that outfit. They all looked fierce, but that outfit on Jasmine, yes. So what's gonna happen? I have no fucking idea about next week, but I'm gagged and I can't wait until next week. And I hope Jasmine and Latrice come back. That's all I want. I just want Jasmine and Latrice to come back. That's all. And I'll be happy. Anywho, thank you for choosing The Warehouse. I am Brad, aka your Android Queen 1014. Let me know what you thought about the episode and what you think's gonna happen next episode in the comments below. Also, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean bundles. Please like and share. Let everybody know to get some drag race fixes before the episode comes on. Let them know to come watch with me, your Android Queen, every week. Let them know to come watch with me to get your drag fix until next episode. Toodles.